everyone, it's DuckFairy07. Today we are playing JUND SAGA. After a long time, I'm very happy and hyped about this build. Okay, so the JUND got a lot of upgrades recently, and with MH3 came the Nethergoyf, very strong one drop, possibly the best one drop in the game. And I believe lately when I played it in combination with Dragonray Channeler, these 8 cards in combination with Mishra's Bauble felt very strong and very aggressive into a lot of matchups, hard to deal with. Okay, so the Bowmasters in other decks kind of prevent you to playing both Ragavan and Channeler, and in this build Channeler feels mostly better. It can fill the yard for the Fear, giving Delirium, for the Goyf, both Goyfs making it bigger. And if you have both Ragavan and Channeler, then it's kind of too many targets for their Bowmasters. And yeah, Nethergoyf is also pretty good against Bowmaster. It becomes very large very soon. And it's very easy to grow both Goyfs in this build. So we got very focused on Delirium, but it's also a classic JUND SAGA build, trying to win, gaining a lot of value, but also trying to be really aggressive, as the quality of these creatures went up insanely. So we got Tarmogoyf as we had it like a few years ago, but now we got 2 Arena of Glories, and I can't tell you just how much better Goyf is with 2 Arena of Glories in your deck, and giving it haste and digging for Arena of Glory with Channeler, putting in the yard, then bringing it back with Ren and 6. Yeah, it's really amazing, and Arena of Glory is super important in this build. Unfortunately, I can't really see playing more than 2. Because yeah, we got Earth Sagas, we got Fetches, we got Boseiju. Maybe if we cut Boseiju, maybe then it's possible. Maybe Boseiju is not necessary in the main. So, but Arena of Glory was like really strong. And we got Fear of Missing Out, we got Goyf, we got Kroxa, and this card is also insane with Arena of Glory. Kroxa very strong. And also Nethergoyf can sometimes also use Arena of Glory, because the escape ability costs 3 mana, so you can pay it with Arena of Glory. So it was relevant as well, and it can be pretty good. Channeler, not to mention Channeler, giving haste to Channeler, and Goyfs and Fears of Missing Out, plus Kroxa felt all amazing. We got Shadow Spear in this build, which is 2 trouble by Saga, and very good with 8 Goyfs in the list. It gives them trample, which is very hard to deal with for a lot of opponents. These creatures can get really large and can be killed with Galvanic Discharge, Lightning Bolt, only like Static Prison or Fatal Push. So we got 4 Totsis and 1 Nihil Spellbomb in the main, which is just enough, plus Kroxas and Molten Collapse and removals, of course, which is just enough interaction in the main to be able to deal with some hard matchups in game 1. And the deck can really go fast, especially with the Arena of Glories, Fear of Missing Out. Untapping Goyfs can be really devastating for opponents, swinging for a lot of damage. Okay, so in the sideboard, obviously for energy we got 3 Pyroclasms. For Eldrazi's we got 3 Charmouse, but also in addition to that I got Pitting Needles, which is very good against the ring decks, especially Eldrazi. They don't have a good way to deal with it. Havermites also against Artifact Enchantments and the rings. Ghost Vacuums, Soul Guides, and the second Nihil Spellbomb on the side. So that's it, another Molten Collapse, and yeah, that's what I felt was needed at the moment. Okay, so that is it. We can now go to the gameplay, but before that I want to share some news, because I made a new sideboard guide, and it will be very soon here uploaded in my top tier guide. So this is in the guide tier, sorry. Okay, so in the guide tier, starting from today probably, I will have uploaded Dimir Frogtide Oculus, or Froculus, whatever you like to call it, sideboard guide in the top tier guide. And these guides will remain in the medium tier. So Domain Zoo, Mardu Bombardment, Mardu Energy and Domain Zoo freshly updated just last week, Mardu Bombardment last month. And that's it. Okay, so also in the top tier guide, I got large tips and tricks article on Energy and Zoo, 5,500 words on both of these archetypes and my thoughts on its best and worst matchups and how to play them. So yeah, that's it. More content coming soon on Decktionary as well. I'm planning another guide and some more of these longer articles with my thoughts on the archetypes in my sideboard guides. Okay, so that's it. We can now go check out the gameplay. I was really impressed how well did this JUND build play out. It was really aggressive, and I was really close to the trophy in this league and one other league I played. But yeah, let's check this one. Let's see how it went. Okay, so this is pretty good hand. I got double bubble, verdant catacombs for turn 1, go for surveil. Then start on turn 2, Tarmogoyf for fear of missing out, whatever. I decided to keep the stomping ground on top, and now I also have another Mishra bubble. So I can choose, yeah, I see the top, I decide to go for the surveil, find Nihil Spellbomb on the top and keep it. So just play stomping ground here, play the Tarmogoyf and pass the turn. Don't have a removal for Guide of Souls, unfortunately, and they have a pretty strong start. And I decide to go Renin 6 here and kill the Ocelot. But yeah, maybe that was a bad decision. And maybe the better option here was just keep a Goyf as a blocker and a Tarfire, the Guide of Souls, growing my Goyf, making it harder for them to deal with it. And the opponent placed Blood Moon, but as you can see here, I had the basic swamp and it didn't really affect me at all. I was able to grow my Goyf, kill the guide, ping the token, play the spell bomb, pass the turn, attack for a 5, play the fear of missing out and just completely demolish my opponent. So that was the game. And let's check out game 2. So as you can see, Blood Moon not very effective against JUND, as always. Okay, so Giganta and of course a Pyroclasm. I board in 3 Pyroclasm for this matchup, plus some Graveyard Hate, and these are like the main pieces. As I always say, Thoughtseize is not a way to win in this aggro and mid-range matches. So I like to board out my Thoughtseizes. Also in this matchup I boarded out Fears of Missing Out because I have so many cards I want to bring in. It's hard to find a place for them all, and like Tarmogoyfs are just so very good here, both the Nethergoyf and the Tarmogoyf. As you can see here, opponent plays Ocelot, plays Static Prison, attacks with M-Traptor and pass the turn. So yeah, here I go for the Pyroclasm, kill Pride, kill Raptor, and I'm just in a very good position here. I go for Channeler, Graveyard the Goyf. I can crack the bubble. That makes my Channeler a 3/3. See the Guard of Souls on top of my opponent's deck. And yeah, so here opponent doesn't play Guard of Souls, they go for a Flage. So now they have Flage in the yard, 3 lands and Guard of Souls in their hands, so they're really close to casting it. But yeah, I go for the Theater, Survey land, and put Vren in the yard, play Nethergoyf from the yard, play Mishra Bauble, and yeah, this turn I'm hoping they just don't find a land to play the Flage, and then hoping to find some Graveyard Hate piece. I crack the bubble again, grow Goyf to 4/5, opponent finds Raptor, plays Gyro Souls into Raptor, into Ocelot Pride, but that works really well with another Pyroclasm in my hand, so really not a problem for me. So I go clear Pyroclasm, clear the board, find the bubble, Nihil Spellbomb I was looking for, exile their Flage and play the Urza Saga. Really like a super strong super strong turn, insane turn actually for me here. My opponent is on 20, but they have 0 cards. I have Boseiju for their static prison. I have Urza Saga, so this is basically hopeless for the opponent. And yeah, they go find a Reign of Glory and play a Giganta hand. Yeah, it's just... I had multiple options here, but I decided to go for Equip Nethergoyf, make a construct and go for the survey land. Very simple, opponent finds another Flage, but it's useless at this point. And I have Urza Saga next turn. Urza Saga is very good against Flage actually. It just works so well against it. As you can see here, I make a construct token and make another one. I have a Reign of Glory in, if I can use that for Giganta. And yeah, as you can see here, I find Soul Guide Lantern, Exile Flage again, and they concede, so that is a match against Boros. Okay, so let's check out match 2. We'll go through the wins first, and the last trophy match I played against Boros again, but this time lost. And I had the one small misplay which ended up really mattering a lot. We will see that too. Okay, so I started second here. I had multiple options, but I decided to lead on Nethergoyf. So yeah, there were just many ways of playing this hand. And yeah, we can see my opponent has a Blade of the Blood Chief in the yard, which means they are a combo deck with the Brute Scale. So as you can see here, I went for another Goyf, try to grow my Goyfs and go for the Totsies. Here I play a second one, discard their Ballista, and now my Goyfs are 4-5, that is pretty large. I have Delirium, my Channeler is a 3-3, that is a lot of damage. And I have Crocs in hand, which can deal 3 more. That's pretty good, and we can see here opponent finding the Havarmite. So I'm guessing they didn't have probably Graveyard Hate. I'm not sure why. Okay, but yeah. Attack here with everything. Opponent decides to jump, and they go up on 12. And yeah, my opponent is playing a combo deck, so they can try to find a combo, and yeah, so it's worth for them keep playing. And here they try to connive, but in response I kill the fatal push. They lose the target, so they lose the connive ability and concede this game. So let's check out game 2. Okay, so let's check out the sideboarding plan against my opponent. I trimmed a couple of channelers, a couple of fears, and one Mishra Bauble, one Totsies to find space for the sideboard stuff. Sideboard stuff mostly Nickel Spellbombs, Havar Mites, all these cards, Saga targets are really pretty decent in this matchup. As you can see me here playing Tarfire and Nethergoyf, really effective turn, aggressive. Now the Goyf starts attacking, and yeah, now I also have Havarmite in the yard, which grows my Goyf to 6-7. That is really large, really large attacker here. And the opponent has a Young Wolf equipped with Basilisk Collar, so that's a problem. I play a Spellbomb, I play the Tarmogoyf, pass the turn, and they play out their entire hand, which is Ballista and another Wolf. Collar is a problem. But I have Pitting Needle on it now, so after they kill this Goyf, they can't re-equip it. And I'll also exile their graveyard when the Young Wolf Undying ability is on the stack. Okay, so here I keep a push with 2 Goyfs on the field, holding push in a very good situation. Collar is needled. Yeah, so that's it. Again, I go for the Surveil, put a land in the yard, and now, yeah, I have a kill this turn, but I do a big fail and tap wrongly, so I didn't wasn't able to use both removal for a kill on this turn, but it didn't really matter since yeah, my opponent didn't have out from this situation. So that was the game and the match. So let's check out match 3. Okay, so match 3 was playing first. Really effective performance so far from the JUND. This time I start with reguraly channeler, lead with Mishra Bauble, put Kroxa in the yard. Pretty strong start again. On the next turn I can go Totsis plus push or just go for the fear, depending on what my opponent tries to do. They go for Hallowed Fountain and Prismatic, ending my channeler. So yeah, I have multiple options here. Decide to go for fear, put Tarfire in the yard. Now I have a Delirium, so I can double attack with Fear of Missing Out. That's 4 damage, that is a lot. And I kind of didn't want to play my Goyf into counterspell here, so I wanted to save it next turn when I can play Totsis first. And so I decided this turn I just want to go for the Kroxa. And I have Kroxa and the 5 cards in the yard now. I can even just escape it, that's also a decent plan. Opponent plays Tamiyo, passes the turn. So first I go for Totsis, discard their counterspell, so I was right about their counterspell. And then I fatal push the Tamiyo and play the Goyf, attack with fear, putting them down on 6 life, and with only lands in their hand at this point. So they only had Lorien and Raffine Tower, so nothing special. So they really need a big top deck here to get out of this situation, and they didn't get it, so that is a quick win here for the JUND. Really aggressive start with great hands, and fear did a lot of damage, and also did draw discard, which can be very useful in the JUND deck with Vrenn 6, so getting a land to hand, discarding land, or when playing Hellbent, it's great as well. Okay, so I lead here with Soulguide Lantern and 2 Goyfs, that's pretty decent. Okay, so I start with Goyf number 1. Next turn I can go Totsis and play another Goyf. That seems like a pretty decent start. Okay, so here I'll go for JUND Saga. That's also decent top deck here, works great against counterspells, but unfortunately opponent has invert polarity. Didn't see that card for some time. It was quite good in this situation for the opponent. And I cracked the Soulguide Lantern to grow the Goyf, since I also have a Nihil Spellbomb here. So I attack for 5 with Goyf. I have JUND Saga here, and yeah, that's a pretty decent situation. Even if my opponent cracks the Soulguide Lantern, my Goyf is still pretty large. Okay, so I go for a small Goyf, attack for 4, put them down on 8. They crack the Soulguide Lantern, but my Tarmogoyf remains 4/5, like nothing happened. And I have Nihil Spellbomb, I have 2 Goyfs on the field. I can make this Nethergoyf pretty big immediately. And yeah, so they have the verdict, but I can instant speed, end of their turn, make a construct to continue attacking. And I make another one, and I find a pitting needle, naming the One Ring. Okay, so I can attack for 4, put my opponent down to 4, I play the channeler and still keep a mana for the spellbomb on their turn. Molten Collapse, and my opponent concedes this match. Okay, so that's also another very quick win against blue-white or domain control. Okay, so let's check out the win number 4. I left this one for last as it was the quickest one. I was playing first mulligan to 5 and kept a decent 5. Just a 3 lands, push and Goyf. That's Boseiju, one of these lands, and I can go for Surveil on turn 1. And yeah, okay, so I go for a surveyor here. I have fear on the top. I decide like that's a pretty decent keep here. I go find my basic, and I have multiple options, but decide to go for the fear, discard both Seiju and get Dotsies. Okay, so opponent plays the Tarfire. Tarfire just go face, and I find another land which was pretty decent pick here. I go for the Totsies. Opponent plays Bowmasters in response. That's fine. Deal 1 damage to me. I discard their Channeler. So now they have double burning inquiry in their hand. So I decide not to play the Goyf, but to hold push so I can kill the Bowmaster in response to their inquiry. They discard the Nethergoyf, and yeah, but they discard Hollow One and Nethergoyf, but they still have a Burning Inquiry in their hand, another one, and so they find a second Orcish Bowmaster, which was great here, but I was able to play double Nethergoyfs, which was pretty large, 4-5, and their Inquiry making it 6-7, that's like really large, but they play another Inquiry and getting the 3-3 Orc Army token here and playing their own Nethergoyf. So, but yeah, my Goyfs like were really large, 6-7, that is a lot, and I keep one Goyf as a blocker here, plus Urza Saga token possibly. I don't want to crack a bubble here since it triggers the Bowmasters and also grow their Orc Army token. Now you can see their Goyf is also 6-7 at this point, so they grow it considerably here. I make a construct token, end of turn, and yeah, so my opponent is on 12, they're on 12, and with Urza Saga dying, and I found Tarfire, so when I played Tarfire, this is a very good trick in combat, because I can play Tarfire, grow my Goyf to 7-8, and this way all their blocks become pretty bad here. Not to mention that I can Urza Saga find a graveyard hate piece, make their Goyf 0-1, and I'm not sure if my opponent realized all that and just conceded, but yeah, at this point maybe they had to go or whatever happened. My opponent decided to concede their entire match, and yeah, that was it. That was match number 4. So let's check out the last match of this league for the trophy. Again, I played against Boros, but I did actually I think 2 mistakes in this match. First mistake was like keeping this hand. It's obviously was very optimistic keeping a hand like this one, but I didn't know what I was playing against, and potentially like with another land turn 2 Nethergoyf plus Totsies after turn 1 Totsies can be very strong, but yeah, I do have 23 lands in my deck, but this didn't end up well for me. I did not find the third land I was hoping for, or something to cast this Wrenn 6 with. I even had the fear of missing out, but yeah, that didn't help me. So yeah, a lot of wasted turns here. I did play fear, so my opponent doesn't have great attack here. They do have Flage, so they can kill the fear. They can kill the fear. They played both their martial arts, so now their hand is Plains and Raptor and the mystery card. I don't find land this turn, so I go for a Nihil Spellbomb, draw a card with it, and finally find that land I was hoping for. Now I discard Totsies. I don't want to use Totsies, lose more life, but my opponent was able to play the Galvanic Discharge here, kill my fear, attack with Ajani and play the second Ajani and make their cat tokens 3-2. That was actually a pretty big deal, because at this point They had 6 damage, and yeah. And they find a raptor, and the raptor means a Johnny can deal damage to face, and it was just super strong at this point, making a Johnny going 6 damage to face immediately. I was not able to do anything about it, so my mistake in this game was keeping that starting hand, which wasn't very functional. So that was the big difference between this match and the first match, where I should have just mulliganed in this trophy match, should have mulliganed more aggressively, but with one land potential, that hand had a lot of potential, so I decided to risk it. Unfortunately, this time it didn't pay off, but I have a great sideboard against them. I have Graveyard Hate, I have Havarmite, which deals with Ring and Static Prisons, and I also have 3 Pyroclasm. That's all very strong. You can see me here playing Goyf, turn 2 after turn 1 Channeler. Okay, so this Pyroclasm looked very good in this situation, even though I was killing my Channeler. But yeah, killing a Johnny and Guide of Souls still felt pretty decent, plus attacking for 3 and growing Goyf a bit. Yeah, that's all felt very decent, but yeah, here I was struggling for finding black mana again. And opponent plays Amtraptor into Static Prison. Unfortunately, I don't have black mana yet. So opponent goes another Amtraptor, finds a Johnny in this situation, and I have Havarmite now, and I can bring back the Goyf. So my opponent attacks with Raptor, and I decide to bring my Goyf back and attack with it. I risked a bit here. I risked a bit because but I decided to block with Goyf anyway. Opponent has Traben Charm to kill Goyf, and now they have to stay back, but they can attack with Cat Warrior, not with Raptors though. Okay, so I go for a Channeler here, keeping the Fatal Pushes. Now I can block. When I have the Fatal Push open, I can block the token, and after this play I felt like I'm in a really good position and that I'll probably be able to get this one, but my opponent on that turn plays the One Ring, and in this situation where we were kind of really even. But yeah, my board is obviously better. I have a Goyf, I have a Channeler, I have Nethergoyf, all ready to attack here, and they find a Flage killing my Channeler. That's really good. Okay, so opponent has a bunch of stuff here, and yeah, so can't really do much after all that. And they have I can go for some damage with Shadow Spear, Goyf, put them down on 7, but that's about it. Opponent was able to dominate this match after resolving the One Ring on turn 4 and having enough of interaction in the early turns to keep my Goyfs out. So yeah, that was the match, trophy match against Boros. So first match against Boros went 2-0, and in the trophy match unfortunately lost 2-0, but I feel like that's realistic. I think deck has pretty even matchup against Boros, but I find that Boros has trouble dealing with Goyfs, both Nethergoyf and Tarmogoyf. Despite them having Graveyard Hate, it's just not enough because it's mostly artifact based. Graveyard Hate, they can play stuff like Rest in Peace because they also have Flage, so it's not that hard to deal with artifact based Graveyard Hate. With JUND, it's very easy to rebuild the graveyard, make Goyfs big again. Also Tarmogoyfs relies on the opponent's graveyard as well, so yeah, the deck is pretty good. I didn't JUND didn't feel this good for some time. Arena of Glory is really big difference. Hasting Goyf is a big deal. Hasting Groxa is a big deal, or hasting Fear of Missing Out. All these cards work so well with Arena of Glory. and you can dig with it for channeler, and the channeler and the Goyfs can also be hasted with Arena of Glory, and this card is just amazing. So we got Totsis, and as you saw in some of my older builds, I liked Duress in these Rakdos decks when I played against Eldrazi, especially against Mono Blue Belcher as well, but against Eldrazi, since it's the most played deck of that style, and the rest worked very well against them, and I was pretty happy with that, so that's definitely an option. And yeah, okay, so Graveyard Hate in the main, I can say that Urza Saga felt pretty good again against the Flage decks, because yeah, it makes a relevant creature, and when it dies it exiles the Flage from the yard, which is just very effective, especially growing your Goyfs, growing both Nethergoyf and Tarmogoyf. And yeah, okay, so that is it. A fear of missing out. Also, let me mention fear. I feel like it's a great addition to the deck, fits in perfectly. I was when I started the build, I had Raptor here, but after some gameplay I decided that I like fear of missing out better than Raptor, and there's no place to play both if you want to go be efficient on Delirium with the Channeler and the Nethergoyf. So you have to choose, play either Raptor or Fear. There is definitely no space to play 4 of both of these cards. You could play like 2 of Fears and then try to trim something else, but all of these cards worked very well in the deck. Very happy with them. So it's not an easy job, but doable if you really want. Okay, so Fatal Pushes, still amazing. Totsis is also so good with Goyfs in this deck, and it's the only interaction against combo style decks. So I think Duress could possibly be another addition to the sideboard if you think you need something like that. So that's it, but a very effective sideboard. Pyroclasm, Charmouse, and these Saga tutor targets, which also work, they do their job very well. As I said, I'm not sure if second Boseiju is needed, maybe not, and this could very well be like a second Needle. I think Needle is a pretty good card at the moment, works great against ring decks, and yeah, the Needle is just the kind of the most effective card against the ring decks. You just play this and they can play it, but it's useless. So I really like the Needle. I really like the Saga targets. Also there is Ghost Vacuum, a card from a new edition. It's kind of a graveyard hate, but can win some mid-range games. It has a very strong 6 mana ability, where you put a lot of creatures from the yard onto your control. And that's it. Okay, so this is it for today. Thank you for watching this far. Friendly reminder to click like, click subscribe, comment down in the video. How do you feel about this JUND version? I feel like it's really strong, and I think I'm doing this, building this in paper too for myself. I really enjoy playing this type of decks, and I don't have anywhere else to use the Nethergoyfs and the Fears and the Croxas, and I really want to play these cards. Also, like, there's just no much place lately to use the Goyfs either, the Tarmogoyfs, so I think I really want to do this build in paper and do some more testing. And it's a deck I really enjoy playing from a long time ago, and I feel it's now better than it was for a long time. And the fear of missing out is a great addition. Arena of Glory especially great addition, and it's very underrated, its interaction with Croxa. So that's it. Molten Collapse also works pretty sweet against Boros when they have Static Prison plus creature on the field, kills both. So 1 main, 1 side, plus 3 Pyroclasm makes, and the Graveyard Hate makes a very strong cyber plan against Boros. Also Haywire Mites there to deal with the ring, plus Pitting Needles, all very effective solutions. So again, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.